Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What people do eat no money, what they at you, eat no at you. Covid money, miss away in the your little rat you. Use the youth, them money, waste and bust a man to statue. Say me like a catch you, but bigger than a figure you. Take the script of money, girl, and say that it's not you. On the head, the man above him, look him, I got to bet too much. It in the kitchen, some fly by like a patu. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% raise.
It burn me.
Garbage pile of the day.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption please.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out with beach.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
Come me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The 100 the promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, they rap and they down in a whatever. Member bold money and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like thief when them sell.
It burn me.
Or they treat the market man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
Or they treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the jerk man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the son man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat policeman.
It burn me.
Or them a treat soldier man.
It burn me.
How them a treat everyone.
Can't fool me again.
Stibbidim day, stibbidim day, stibbidim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no cape. And some informer friend we love Lake. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for we in Global TV. Check it.
Good evening and welcome to Global Television. Thank you for joining us. It is your program, The People's Point of View. Another devastating weather is approaching Jamaica, and we are taking note of what is happening. Good evening to my community of parity and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Good evening. Good evening to those on TikTok and to those on YouTube. Good evening and welcome. Sharon Bernard, Sunshine, Michelle Lewis Wilson, Gloria Morris, Ruby, Deb, Miranda Roddock, Doris Elliott, Debbie Jervis Stevie, Asia McCullough, Grace Linton, Norman Ferguson, Sharon Bernard, Brose, Empress Deb, good evening, Ladybug, good evening, Durant Clark, Lurleen Casanova, Joan Bailey. Good evening, everyone. Good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Welcome, everyone. Boy, Mr. the Prime Minister looks sick, worried. But, Cousin Marina Wagwan, you think Face the Nesta can approach the people them, but we will get round to you and Nesta. We're going to tie a dead horse to some black puppets who call themselves politicians, whether they be yard or abroad, because there's a new political madness in Britain here, which is quite Dareth Elliott, Karen Nemard, Violet Watson. quite irritating, and I want to lace Kemi bedding up tonight. Because in Magwan, like I say, there's something happening in the Conservative Party that black people ought to be joyful of. We must go on round and tell everybody, oh, a black woman has been this, that, or whatever. Which black woman? We will get to her. We will get to her. Martha face look terrible. Martha tell Nesta, say, Nesta proceed to mend fence with the people them a mucker. Remember how Nesta did come out strong and bold. Beat and teach what you there in a reach yet. Remember how Nesta did come out strong and bold. Ladybug, how are you? And say as long as him an MP, nobody can vote for our name, a Romain Morris. And boy, did Romain Morris took that division from him. Nesta thingy conference, what it's called, his constituency conference over the weekend. Even though him bring Kukudu and all sort of malarkey, it still look scanty and him look very worried. If the Prime Minister weren't all that worried, because if Nesta a division down, it's quite likely that Nesta could lose the seat. Not to mention, we're going to go on down a road a constituency. You might never know we're going on a Cockburn Finn and Mrs. Holness constituency. Plus, you might never know what happened down a George Wright unless them give George Wright a bouquet, a wedding ring, and a stool for campaign. But I don't see what Nesta Morgan is going to go to the people of Moko, Liebert Peart, and say to the people of Moko, did you not see they swung all the way with the councillor? When a councillor, when the people, Sophia Hall, decide, Nesta Morgan, to go with their councillor despite whichever party he's going, that's something for you to watch. Do you think your battle and your holdout against Mr. Morris, his voters are going to turn around and vote for Nesta in the general election? Maybe that's why Nesta and the Prime Minister is kind of worried. Because Nesta used badmanism and badman talk and rob himself out of it. And now him and the Prime Minister seek away. Christine Gilbert, how are you? Now him and the Prime Minister seek away how to get back into the arms of the people where him skin up him face against. But this is to show you, say, when it's about the people, you can't put yourself first. You can't skin up your face on the people when you get to power. So this is a lesson for you to say. When uno MP, it no means say uno fi run riot over the councillors them, where them still with them voters have to give uno the support to get to where uno want. And member say Kim with fear balling come out and make the Prime Minister know say uno go depend on me to work my division in order for uno take home the seat. Because if uno no win my division now go take home the seat. You see the public mischief the Prime Minister inner with him 40 and thieves them. Him 40 and thieves them a drop 1-1 by the way. And they're worried about the upcoming by-election, particularly in Clarendon. Them know so them now go win the St. Thomas local government by-election. Sharon Powell, how are you? But they're very worried about the Clarendon local government by-election because if they lose that division as well, they will lose the Clarendon Municipal Corporation, I believe, as well. The mayoralty will go to the People's National Party if they lose this upcoming by-election in Clarendon. So they are worried sick. But I don't see how Nesta can repair the rift with him and the people of Moko. But the buying out not gonna really work this time. Buying out a failure, so you start walk and beg for peace. You're begging for peace now when you could have dealt with the issue in a way where it kept Nesta divisions together. But that's what Bully gets. That one you say. I wonder if he will quote with a number this time. But Deadman said the government activated the National Emergency Operations Center in light of the pending weather system expected over the country in the next probably 12 to 18 hours. The Prime Minister said the National Emergency Operations Center is ready to coordinate preparedness across the country. Well, let's see how it goes. I wonder if this is another opportunity for the Prime Minister to take to the skies. Because remember, so the road them a pop down, you know. You can't risk the road them, Prime Minister, especially if you're going to Gillette Cockburn Finn constituency. You can't really trust the road. Then we just pop off along the way upon you, so. But then again, you tell we in a February, so we reach the prosperity amount. We can up at top then now. We can start share with down at bottom because say they have fix up at top before they start share with we and we are go get it for do road and them something there. We still reach and spark. Still waiting to reach and spark. Because I think reach and spark is where we get our little dividends out of the fiscal prudence of this government. So no make us come with the reach and spark. Because that's all we get out of it, you know. And even the reach and spark what we get, we still suffer and wait for it. So let's hope another angle if what is expected, we're more likely to get a lot of wind and rain. This could bring a lot of flooding across the country. Let's hope their preparedness, they learn something from their slowness to act and their lack of coordination in the burial effort. Let's see if in this upcoming tropical storm, if it matters up to that disaster level where the state have to intervene, let's see if them prepare and ready, because see our digital and flow after them prepare for the weather. So the whole anno did say before burial and after burial, we realized that the whole anno pop down left a road. That's what you all told us. But when after burial struck, the whole anno just popped down and the country just popped down a dot so for weeks. For weeks, the country just popped down a dot so. So let's see how operations kick into place in the aftermath. So we keep we eye, cause we don't know how much shelter you're gonna tell me about this time for the count the shelter them pound a finger and knock on the chest to do the addition. But we are waiting to see how much shelter and I'm gonna tell we say available. Now, this is another calamity seem to be unfolding in the health industry. Thousands of unsuspecting Jamaicans may have been or currently been exposed to radiation after receiving treatment at dental offices. Dr. Cliff Riley, Director General of the Hazardous Substance Regulation Authority, raised his concern about the issue while speaking with the Gleaner yesterday. According to him, out of all the medical professionals who utilizes ionized radiation apparatus or devices emitting ionizing radiation, dentists are the most non-compliant with the regulation. A trend noticed since 2019. Nobody really seemed to care even about them professional about people's safety. Then Miles run one less beat and teach Wagwan. So this is another lacking in the health service. So for those of you who may have visited the dentist offices in the last 3, 4, last 4, 5, 6 years, you may want to take note of this information, because radiation can also, I believe, cause poisoning, isn't it? So you might never know. Where do we go again? Hold on. So we talked about the 29 children in Nigeria this morning that were to possibly face the death penalty. President Tinubu today has ordered the immediate release of the 29 children facing death penalty after being arraigned for illegally participating in protests against the country's worst cost of living crisis in generations. Under growing pressure from activists, Tinubu also directed an investigation of law enforcement agents involved in the arrest and prosecution of minors. Nigerian Information Minister Mohammed Idris told reporters in the capital, Abuja. So, one thing to take from this, Kathy, thank you. One thing to take from this is that the power of public activism, social media activism, and everybody, our voices matters. Our voices and our activism or demonstration or protest can change the mind or behavior of government. So we must not, Brenda Simpson, be afraid, Matthew O'Connor, to always stand up against tyrannical government and show our discontent, Linville Graham, to what they continue to do. And as we say, we are going to have a go at some of these crooks. Now, this is Kemi Badenoch. Dry coconut. Kemi Badenoch. Dry coconut. The Conservative Party has elected her as their leader. Badenoch is no better than Rishi. In fact, she's worse. White as it comes is Kemi Badenoch. The Conservative Party would want you to hail her as the first Black woman to be elected as leader of the British Conservative Party. The fact that Kemi Badenoch jumped into a bucket of tar coming back out black doesn't mean she's a Black woman. When does you ever see Kemi Badenoch standing up for blackness? Kemi Badenoch is a white mouthpiece for the elite white of this country. Don't draw Black people in on no nonsense. Don't draw Black people in on no nonsense. The fact that on a dip Kemi Badenoch in a tar doesn't mean she's one of us. A dry coconut rolling down the road doesn't mean she's one of us. Kemi Badenoch is not one of us. Kemi Badenoch is a racist old thug. Kemi Badenoch is a slavery denier. Kemi Badenoch is a reparation denier. Who do you think she is? The woman is a coconut of the third degree, dipped in tar. Not because our skin black means that Kemi Badenoch black. You don't walk and rub up everybody in a blackness. At the same thing when I take Kamala and rub her up in a people, it's not everybody dipped in tar that is black. I've been a Sarkodie, Colin. Kemi Badenoch doesn't represent Black people in Britain. Kemi Badenoch represent white, elite, conservative Britain, racist Britain. That's what Kemi Badenoch represents. That's why she can't have the reparation conversation. That's why people like Kemi Badenoch think that slavery and colonization benefit Africa and the Caribbean. Why do you think Black people should celebrate a dunce, a coconut, a dipped in tar? Is that everything on the job Black people in her? Is not everything on the use the blackness and buy we vote with? The using color to buy or vote is over. Kemi Badenoch is not respected in the Black community. We don't even know her. We don't know why you not push her up in our face. We don't even know her. Because she's not one of us. She's not a Diane Abbott who has walked amongst us. She's a white woman. She's an elitist. What do you expect? Leave black people autonomous, please. Sometimes we can't do nothing without walk and draw within a hit. It's not everything we want to be drawn into. It's not everything we want to be drawn into. And not everybody on to poke up with, oh, they are black. Black for who? What black? Don't you see that Dush pot is black? Don't you see roast breadfruit is black? Are they one of us? And stop walk and push up these hypocrites. These people on the plants. Stop push up on the plants on us. The last black person who use and fool with Barack Obama. When they just say now work for Kamala. I want to still come push up Kemi Bedenak in our face. It's not working. We don't believe in the nonsense anymore. There's white racists and there's black racists on behalf of the white racists. Kemi Bedenak is one of them. Barack Obama is one of them. There's many of them. David Lammy is also one of them. Oli Pauno, black Satanists. This is one in the Labour Party in Britain, but they're all Satanists. All of them trample on Diane Abbott legacy. But none of them will show the respect and the homage to Diane Abbott. Even though this one will have the reparation argument. But, hypocrite, anytime you see them married to white people, anytime you see them, because most of them what you see in a high society, especially in Britain, them not married themselves. Carlos Wagwan. Them not married in a them culture. And them tend to walk and rub up these things in our face like they are there for us. Michelle Guthrie, Monica Will. Like they are there for us. Kemi Bedenak or David Lammy, they don't speak on behalf of us. They speak on behalf of their British masters, institution, and corporation. They really don't speak on behalf of us. Then you have the lady Satanists, because you have a lot of these black politicians which are the modern puppets. Like the Kemi Bedenak, the David Lammy, and the new modern Satanists. This is one of the biggest puppet of the United States and the UN. When people take note of her, it's probably going to be too late. But Mayor Motley is no better devil than Andrew Holness. Mayor Motley is no less of a narcissist than Andrew Holness. They're all puppets for the West. But one of the things that they continuously do to us, this is what I hate about this politician, Norman, because that wasn't David Lammy tune a few years ago. But now, now that David Lammy have a cabinet position, them tune change. Now that him have a cabinet position, him tune change, because even though David Lammy is a flip-flopper, him views always all over the place. But now him have a cabinet position, him tune change. Kemi Bedenak is just a white racist woman from day one. But that's Mayor Motley. She's the UN devil. The one that's gonna push the climate change agenda. the one that's gonna push the Samoa agenda in the Caribbean along with Andrew Holness. Someone may listen to me about and say she talk very honest and robust. No, this is how them put some of them in front of you before you spot them. When they chain William Ruto and put William Ruto in front of the people of Kenya, they put William Ruto as a strong talker. They place William Ruto as a futuristic talker, as a progressive. But no sooner has William Ruto got the power, William Ruto turned into devil upon the people of Kenya. And remember, after America roll out the red carpet for William Ruto, he went straight back and start oppressing the people, which tore up his country. When you see these mesmerizing speakers in our political spheres, we have to keep an eye upon them. Them have a script from them international masters that they have to play with and they have to follow. It is why when they're on campaign, they tell you who come and bo come. But when they get into power, when you believe that and put them into power, you get diddly squat. And we must listen to these sweet talkers and these narratives and these sound bites that these sweet talkers continuously come to us with. But we have seen no solution other than these people are playing America's card. Look at what William Ruto did to his country in order to play America's game. Look at what Andrew Holness is being used to do to Haiti, intervening in Haiti, protecting America's interests in Haiti. But you cannot, Verna Adams, implement or exercise international law on your shore when your Haitian brothers and sisters turn up seeking asylum. But I haven't heard much of the Cuban case, the Cuban migrant who turned up the other day. But have you noticed when it's the Haitian migrants, sometimes they get repatriated within 24 hours? I wonder if there's a reason for a difference in the treatment of how these are done. The reason why nothing is being done, and I have a track record of Andrew Holness speeches from 2015 to clip out and go through, because as one of my cousins would call Andrew, the minister of promises, because from 2015 he has been coming with promises and promises and promises, but not been able to put any of his promises in place. Yes, there is a difference between the simple. Let's see if, but then again, them not care. I was going to say, I wonder if what happened in Juliet Cockburn Finn constituency if they will see the need to make sure the infrastructure of our roadways are done in a much more durable and as well as weather prone landslide flooding situation.
So water run there. All pipe dislocated. See there? Everybody I wonder how them are going to reach a work and how them are going to start to work and so forth. You understand? All of the road break off. See there? So that's around there.
What I'm really hoping is that one day the people of Jamaica will wake up to see the need of voting to make sure politicians do the things they promise, such as fixing your roads. I mean, that is one of my most tiring failure in Jamaica, bad road. And the backward stepping of our health care. Because the truth is, it's getting worse. No matter what Dr. Tufton would have you believe, where health care is getting worse. And it would be really good if Jamaica people could see the need for voting to make sure services like those in Bradford are implemented rather than selling your votes. I think we should come to the realization now, Kate M., that selling your vote, you have not gained anything from selling your vote. Why not try something different? For quite a long time now, we have been engaged in the vote selling and the vote buying. It has not really worked. We cannot really show anything as a country from selling our votes. Why not try something else? Why not, when the politicians come around this time for this general election, wanna make them know, say, boy, me I go bear the hungry, and vote with my conscience. How far can that 20,000 take you? How far can that 20,000 take you? You have to be careful what you pick up when you go in a supermarket out of 20,000. That's what you're selling your future for. That's what you're putting ahead of your children's future. But yet we still want a better Jamaica. How do you add the two together when you sell your rights, you sell your choice, and then you're expecting someone out there to come and make a choice that benefits you? But what about when you had the opportunity to make the choice to choose into the future, or to choose one that comes with policy that will implement and put things in place for the future? We need to stop and think. This is why You see, white politicians, oh no, don't get it wrong, white politicians are corrupt. Oh, they are corrupt. But there are systems in place to hold them to account, as well as they're dealing with a literate population. The difference with those politicians and our black leaders is that one, our black leaders tend to keep their population in a more illiterate state. Thus, you see the disaster to education. You see the removal of civic from society and the removal of discipline from homes and schools. So you have all sort of those malarkey. So government can just sweet talk you and control you, and then you'll just follow government slavishly and cultishly, as opposed to the politician them who are deal with people with high literacy. They have to approach their populace and speak to them about policy, even though they lies at a lot of the time about those policies, even though they will wait and bring those manifesto policy to you, and then when they get into power is a total different kettle of fish, because even the current new Labour Party leader Keir Starmer is doing that in Britain. The reason why things like that flies over our head in our black politics is because we have a cultish mentality to our politics. We also is we're not politically educated. Some of us were not even socially educated to know what we pay our tax and choose these people to administer our affairs, what is expected of them, what they ought to do for us, how our money is spent, what are the infrastructures and services and institution they need to put in place. And that is because they keep the population at a level where the mass populace is not politically educated and thus does not really understand much outside of the political tribally. And at them thing there, a lot of politicians, especially black politicians, prey upon because it keep us, once it keep us in that dunce, docile state, they get to run riot around us. They get to serve lifetime in politics, enrich themselves on the same bad road when they entered politics 30, 40 years ago that they promised you to repair has never been done. That water that they promised to bring to your home 40 years ago is still not been done. And it's because we don't hold them to account. We don't put them to work. After the political euphoria is over, we just get back to looking after ourselves and allow them to get on with whatever they want to do. Want to see why they don't care about we? Because they know that we don't care. Them know we don't really mind. We will bounce and bear it. We will cut and go through. We will look after ourselves. That's why little girl they couldn't walk off with 16 million That's why we don't know where Marsha do with 16 out of the 19 million. Or we don't know if Marsha have to give back Andrew or anybody kick back money out of that 16 million and then write pan book and tell we where the money used for and where the money there. Wake up to the game of politics. Until you understand it, it's never gonna benefit you. Those big players in the game are playing it for themselves. If you want to benefit from the game of politics, you first have to learn it. And then, after you learn it, it is your duty to play the game to your advantage. Nobody is here to look after you. Every man for themselves. You ever hear the word dog eat dog? That's how politics go. This is why you see they chew over each other when they're on the political campaign. They look like them are going to fight when them in a parliament, but after the camera is off, they go for lunch, they go for coffee, and they go for their social outing. Only one I pay blah 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 and lob them out over politician, but the whole of them are friend, the whole of them are eat out on the money, and the whole of them are Grenada Town, June Reed. So if only one continue to sell on a vote, play the tribal game of politics, and make sure politicians can depend upon a vote, all when they're there for 40 years and have not done anything. That's an approval. You continue to vote for Mike Henry. Even when Mike Henry up on bed. Even when them a saw and nail up Mike Henry casket round a back. Them a dig Mike Henry grave. The little coffee on pan the bun pan, them a make one tin mackerel sandwich round a corner there so for share with the little black coffee. All that. I want to still vote for Mike Henry. I want to still vote for Mike Henry. So what do you expect? You voted for Shaini Robinson. You voted for J.C. Hutchinson. I mean, vote for Siaga if you choose. But do you think that's going to benefit you? If you continue to vote for Siaga, Shaini, and all of these dead people who even in them lifetime never do you much. Anybody have no extra ambulance can rent with? We want ambulance to send to Portland. We want ambulance to send to Portland the 10th. I went on the 10th, I which day? A Sunday or a when? Because I know say when Darrell Vaz look and see how Portland turn upside down. Me sure no going to have to draw ambulance to carry Darrell Vaz a hospital. Me I wait to see how him tumble down and how him go down in a go on. But me know say Darrell Vaz I go mad because Rhoda conference and Nesta conference look worrying. And you can tell from Andrew utterance, Canadian galley, Wagwan. You can tell from Andrew utterance, Nesta and Rhoda a walk on tightrope, you know. That's worrying for the Prime Minister because I know ongo they seat there. Weak. And what is happening to Darrell Vaz is not only a threat of Darrell Vaz losing East Portland, which it's fair to say them lose East Portland as soon as Parliament has been dissolved. That is the greater heartache for him. But there is also a risk if the People's National Party played the influence of the East into the West of Portland. Real sweet. Renice Nichols, Ian Ayers. You could unseat the entire family. Influence is what Darrell Vaz and Mrs. Vaz is worried about in the Portland campaign. By the looks of things, they have already lost the East Portland seat. If the influence is crafted properly into the entire parish, and both People's National Party candidate works closely together, they could unseat the entire family. We probably would have to have air ambulance to drop Darrell Vaz in Mexico or somewhere, like when Darrell Vaz did fly to Mexico go pick up the money them where US take where him visa for. But this general election coming is going to be very interesting. You remember the local government election just gone? It had a general election feel and mood to it. With the Prime Minister credibility taking huge knocks since the local government election, which showed up how weak the Prime Minister was. The Prime Minister has taken few knocks after that, such as the lie about Nigel Clark's report, the Prime Minister Integrity Commission report. The Prime Minister continued to slip further and further into the polls. There's more illicit probes to be tabled in Parliament as soon as the Integrity Commission is ready. Emil Spalding, how are you? So, with that weak, sitting duck, lamed Prime Minister, the Jamaica Labour Party still trumpet it around that Andrew Holness is going to bring the party a third term. I saw Jamaica people love distress. Dan Fox. I really saw Jamaica people would have loved distress. Andrew Holness and a third term. I really saw Jamaica people. If we not choose distress, we not have to roll in a hit and wrap up in the like blanket, If that's what you choose, one will have to respect it. Just like by tomorrow night, whoever America choose, whether be Donald Trump or Kamala, we just have to respect it. We just hope the less of the evil is being chosen. But who to say who is the evil and who is the worse or the lesser? Time only, though, will tell. Only time. But it's modern time. And I hope when all start wake up. For those of you who weren't on Drive Time London today, yes, we did Drive Time London today. I want you to go on a research, type in your browser, your Google engine, or you can type in the YouTube search engine if you don't feel like reading Arlene Foster. C40 cities. C40 cities. You can research it from Google or from YouTube because there's lots of videos of it out there. You would want to understand what future changes for the world might be, Pauline Dixon. You may also want to check out the information on the UN website, the Pact for the Future. It's on the UN website, and these are some of the global changes coming with the one world government. So you want to get yourself ahead of a lot of these information so changes in time does not really shock you or surprise you because you have done your research and is aware or are aware of what the new changes are or the new power grab that is coming from the elite institution, governments, and dark world. Thank you all very much for being here tonight. Mr. People, may I go to a coffee withdrawal? It's not a good feeling, but I'm trying to take coffee out of my system. I've been coffee addicted for years. And believe you me, this is about my 5th day now. Honestly, may I struggle. I'm tempted every minute, but I'm trying to hold out. I'm trying to take coffee out of my system, but it's tough, but me a grunt and bear it. But honestly, thank you all very much. Good night, Faith. Long time don't see you on the live. You just come when me are done. But thank you all very much for being here tonight with us on the Global Television Group, Durant Clark, and make sure, Dan Campbell, how are you? Make sure you look at the document on the UN website, the Pact for the Future, as well as you research C40 cities, so C40 cities. These are some of the changes that are coming in under the new one world government. So be aware of these information and be in the know. So when your government start to implement rules around you, you're not in shock. And prepare yourself for the Armageddon, really, because more and more power they're going to take from us is the more revolt you're going to have from people. Abina Sarkodie, how are you? So thank you all for being here tonight. Join us back tomorrow morning for the At a Glance program. It is lovely to have you all as always. Thank you all very much and good night from the Global Television Group.
We don't feel comfortable sitting in Parliament with a Minister of Government who was openly accepted
responsibility, who expresses no regret for the act, where a Commissioner of Parliament has confirmed that the act is corrupt and has referred it for prosecution, and that minister shows no sign of wanting to resign, or the Prime Minister showing no signs of moving to dismiss the minister.
With all the sympathy that one can have for support, this is embarrassing, not only to the government as a party, not only the PNP, but to the government, to Jamaica, to all of us. Our heads bow this morning with this sort of reaction to it.
So we have to take firm actions in this regard. It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agreed that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.